Hey, good morning, folks. Welcome. Loan Coach Kelly here with One Trust Home Loans, bringing to you episode 23 of North Coast Coffee Chats. Usually I've got my partner in crime, David West, your solar best, but he's off busting his tail, trying to find some new people to put solar on their homes. And so today we're firing solo, and I've got one of our members of the group today, Brooks Roffey, with me today. Brooks, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Kelly.
Awesome. So North Coast Coffee Chats, we bring members of NC&G, North Coast Networking Group, together, get to know a little bit about them, learn about their business, what brought them to the point that they're at here today in their entrepreneur path. And we try to create business opportunities for them, grow their business and grow our business by creating referrals and networking. So you get to learn a little bit about Brooks today. And so Brooks, you own a small business. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, so I own Signarama in North County. I own two of them. I own the Signarama in San Marcos, and I also own the Signarama in Carlsbad. And Carlsbad also covers Encinitas, which is fantastic.
Cool.
And we're your local community sign shop. So anybody opening up a small business needs a sign on the front of their shop, we'll do that. We'll handle all their signage inside the building, their graphics, anything else that they need. Graphics on their vehicles as well. And then finally, if someone's going to an event, a conference or what have you, and they need a backdrop, or it's a farmer's market, they need a tent, we'll get all that logoed up for them and get them set up.
So like easy ups or
yeah, exactly.
big tablecloths or
exactly.
things like that. You can pretty much print logo on just about anything.
Dye sublimated ink, it's really durable. We sell a version of an easy up that's quite heavy duty. The easy up you tend to get at like a Costco, for example, the really skinny legs really disintegrate pretty quick. We sell a different version. But yeah, same principle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Signarama, that's a franchise, right?
It is. Okay. Yeah, it is. There's 350 of us, I believe, across the U.S. Okay. Tremendous support from the other Signarama owners. We're all independently owned. I've got a couple of groups that I'm part of, one being the SoCal Owners Group. We just met last Saturday. And then I'm part of a P3 group. There's 5 of us around the country. We meet once a month and share ideas and share our problems and share our successes and help each other out. So it's been great.
Well, that's cool because I've heard some horror stories about franchising and some great stories about franchising. Sounds like the Signarama franchise has been a fairly supportive one in terms of the chain down.
Yeah, I mean, in full disclosure, I would say on the corporate side, you get some support. The true strength of the brand is the owners themselves getting together and supporting each other. That's the real value in being part of that group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would assume that most markets are seeking the same stuff, right? Like, like Los Angeles County or Orange County, San Diego County, like you're all kind of hunting for almost the same clientele ultimately, right? Or maybe different territorially? One
of the nice things about Signarama is from a contractual perspective, they kind of let you do your business the way you want to do it.
Okay.
I know some Signaramas who are really successful at just doing wall graphics, for example, print stuff. I, for example, like the bigger jobs. I like if a project involves a crane, I get really excited about it. I love cranes, love digging deep holes for big signs, like putting big signs on buildings, like doing big wall wraps. That kind of stuff turns me on.
Okay.
But that could scare away a lot of smaller or different style shops.
I see.
So
okay.
We all tend to find our niche and tend to find what we're good at and focus on that and drive our businesses.
Got it. So the really big signage, what's the biggest sign you've done?
Well, there are 3 come to mind. A 28-foot tall pole sign for a brand new retail development down in San Diego. That one was fun. We dug a 10-foot deep hole in the ground, stuck a pole in it, put concrete, and put this giant sign on it. It was great. And then right here in North County for ServPro North Vista San Marcos. We did a 24-foot wide logo box with the giant orange house. It's a great job. And then just recently for the San Diego Rescue Mission, we did a 4,000 square foot wall wrap, 28 feet tall, 75 feet wide, both sides of the wall. And then in addition to that, we ended up doing a mural of Manny Machado as well recently for the grand opening. So that was a nice, big, chunky wall wrap that we were able to sink our teeth into and do a great job. Fantastic stuff. I wish I could show you a picture. It turned out great.
So if we wanted to check out those pictures, do you have some examples of jobs on your website?
I do, yeah. Check out the website. You'll see the wall wraps. And then in the San Marcos website, you'll see the pole sign and the ServPro wall sign.
What is your website?
So Signarama-sanmarcos.com and Signarama-carlsbad.com. Sorry, I was getting a thumbs up. A little distracted. So yeah, Signarama-carlsbad.com.
Got it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So how did you get to Signarama?
Great question.
You've got
Great question. I'm not sure we have enough time.
We've spent a little bit of time chatting, so I know kind of a little bit about your background, but our viewers probably don't know nearly as much as I do. So kind of get me from where you started, what got you entrepreneur mindseted, and then how did that translate to you becoming a franchise owner?
Sure. I think it started when I was a kid. This is going to sound corny, but I started mowing lawns at 11 years old.
Me too.
10.
Actually.
And then quadrupled the size of that business by the time I was 13. Kept doing it, and then sold the business when I graduated from university in Canada with a civil engineering degree.
Okay.
Sold it and made money on it. So then I ended up working for the largest general contractor in the United States for 18 years, but always wanted to own my own business. And decided that rather than going sort of upstream to the developer side, there's such a lack of talent in the trades, it's well documented, that I thought, well, I think I can bring a lot of value more on the trade side. So I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what the right business was, stumbled onto the signage business, and kind of fell in love with it. It's a great blend of the building code, engineering, dorky side, as well as the creative design side. And then we get to put basically, the sticker package on your Lego set on your building.
Okay.
So that reaction of a client when they've just spent millions of dollars on a building, you finally put all the graphics and signage up and their eyes light up. They're like, this is what we thought the building was going to be. I feel bad for the plumber because they don't get that same yay reaction. But that's part of the business that I really enjoy.
Got it.
Yeah.
So from Canada?
From Canada.
Born and raised there?
Born and raised. Civil engineering degree, undergrad. Spent a lot of time traveling the U.S. and Europe with the largest general contractor in the U.S. and their parent company.
And what role there?
So I started out like everybody else at Turner. Well, most people back in the day.
So Turner.
As an assistant superintendent. With hard hat on, boots, just working with trade people and working with all our trade partners and getting buildings built. And then took on roles from corporate finance, sales, earnings forecasting on the operations side. Did a whole bunch of stuff in multiple different offices around the US and again Europe, which was a great ride. Super thankful for what Turner was able to bring to me. Mm-hmm. But ultimately that entrepreneurial drive, I had to do it. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror anymore and say, hey, if I don't do this, I'm going to feel really bad. So I had to do it. I got a master's degree at Fordham University in Manhattan when I lived in New York. And then after Turner, took on some leadership roles with different trades to really get my skill set together on how to run a company. And so that really gave me the confidence to take on buying an existing business and putting myself in a position to grow it because of all these different experiences in kind of the more corporate world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times, people have great ideas. People are entrepreneur minded. They're like, I love this. I have this passion for this. How do I go do it? Like they just don't know how to take that initial passion to take it into morph it into business. And so it
How do you
takes a little,
monetize it?
yeah. How do you monetize your idea and passion for something into a business that actually can become productive and successful and become a career, right?
Yeah, and the MBA side gives you the business formal education side gives you a good foundation, and then quite frankly, in California, you've really got to put your grown-up pants on to run a business in our state.
Yeah.
And a lot of that I got from working more on the leadership side of the trades, because it's not easy. And so a combination of the formal education and then the hard knock stuff really, I think, is what you need if you're going to do business in our state. I hear some of the Signarama franchisees in different states.
Yeah.
And it just sounds so easy, right? Whereas here,
no red tape ever.
Yeah, zero red tape. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you need that school of hard knocks, and you need, I think, the formal education to really monetize, like you say, your passion and really make it pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 locations, 10-foot deep holes.
Yes.
20-foot tall poles.
28
foot tall pole. You're not doing this all yourself.
No, not at all.
So
Not at all.
what does your company look like in terms of like personnel? Like how do you take that inquiry to that proposal to completion?
Right. So it comes back to years of training with the largest general contractor in the U.S. So an opportunity comes in. I figure out how much of that we're going to do ourselves in-house with our team, and then how much I'm going to partner up with a larger contractor or an installer to do a lot of the hole digging for us. So we don't have the capability to dig a 10-foot deep hole.
That's not the business you're in.
No, but using a contractor who probably doesn't necessarily know how to read the blueprints, right? Or how to really do the business side, I can bring them in, give them an environment where they can be profitable doing their work in maybe an environment that they couldn't handle before.
Got it.
And so they like working with me because I bring a skill set to the table that they don't have, but it allows them to do their work even more. So I put a team together for each big project, and then we go and knock it out of the park.
Cool.
Yeah.
So did you meet Manny Machado when you did that rap with him on it?
I wish I did. No. The Padres, for example, they were a donor for our client.
Okay.
And their designer did the artwork.
Okay.
And then we just brought it to life for them.
Got it.
Yeah, we took their vision and made it reality. So It was cool. Super cool graphic.
Right on.
Yeah.
So let's shift gears really quick from where your life transitioned you into entrepreneurship, bought your franchise, family life.
Yes.
You married, kids. Tell us a little bit about your family life.
My wife and I just got back from Portugal celebrating our 20th anniversary.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's fantastic.
How long were you gone?
A week and a half.
Okay.
Week and a half, yeah.
Is that enough time to do Portugal?
There's never enough time.
Yeah.
I mean, I lived in Europe for 14 months, thankfully, back in the Turner days. And you realize that learning a culture and learning a language and really getting to know people takes time.
Yeah.
I would say from a surface sort of checking out the scenes perspective, I think a few more days would have been probably a little better. But Portugal was one of the countries I missed when I lived back there.
Got it.
So we did a lot of touring. I know what I would do if we went back. I'd say give it a couple weeks instead. Yeah, get out to the Azores, which we missed that. And there's a region down south in southern Portugal that we didn't get to. So, but we had a phenomenal trip regardless. The kids were great.
Yeah.
And speaking of our kids, I have 2 daughters, 13 and 16.
Okay.
So I was a little nervous, right, with teenagers, how they'd get along, but they got along fantastically well. It was just a wonderful, wonderful trip from a family bonding perspective. And of course, the learning and seeing a new culture and, seeing a new country and stuff was great.
Yeah.
So there's that, 2 daughters, my wife, and that's kind of the personal side.
What are some of the things that you guys tend to gravitate towards as a family? Are you sports? Are you dance? Are you travel? Like what What gets you guys going in your downtime?
Both of my daughters started studying karate at a really young age. So I have a second degree black belt, and I currently have a black belt or black belt trainee.
Okay.
She'll be a black belt probably in another 9 months or so.
Wow.
So karate takes a lot of effort and time. And then if we're not doing that during the winter, we're skiing.
Okay.
We do a lot of skiing. And then off season, I do a lot of mountain biking myself, a lot of local trails, whether it's PQ, whether it's Hodges. Yes, I do a lot of trail riding locally.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that
Bit of an
takes
outdoorsman, huh?
Yeah, we tend to play in the mountains, whether it's skiing or mountain biking, interestingly enough. And then, of course, we live here in San Diego by the ocean, which is kind of fun. So yeah, that takes up most of our time.
Cool. Well, so don't mess with your daughters, apparently.
No, I trained them that way specifically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing like a woman with a black belt.
Exactly.
Two of them. Yeah.
They can gang up.
Can gang up on you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Don't mess
get
with
older,
the Roffey
right?
girls.
Yeah. So as a franchise owner,
yeah.
Obviously, like you talked about California. There's a lot of red tape.
Yes.
There's permits for everything. There's roadblocks around every corner you turn. Yes. Mm-hmm. What do you foresee some of the challenges you may have with the growth of your business being a franchisee here in California? Do you see anything that may be on the horizon that you're already kind of feeling a little bit of pressure around?
I would say that some municipalities are taking a more aggressive stance on signage.
Yeah.
They may see signage as kind of an eyesore. I think most of that's kind of behind us. A lot of the municipalities here in North County specifically already have really well established, documented
processes
and signed codes, signed ordinances. So on that end, for us, not too much as far as I'm aware of. But then again, I could be easily missing something too.
Yeah.
I would say from a transformational perspective, I do think that AI is going to really change how we approach design.
Yeah.
I think it's going to make it quicker and possibly better, but we'll see how it shakes out. I'm currently just trying to figure that one out. I think it's potentially you could have a client maybe have an AI signed design form already and come to us with that. Whereas right now we tend to do a lot of that for them. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be an interesting ride.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Yeah.
Do you do the creative to create logoing, or do you just predominantly take in logos that people have already created and transform them into the signage?
Yeah, predominantly take people's branding and logo standards that they've developed already and turn it into something cool.
Got it.
When clients do need that service, I have a couple of people, again, that I trust and refer them to that will more than handle their needs when it comes to branding and establishing that baseline.
Got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Got it. And so, like, what kind of machinery do you have, like, as a franchise? Like, how many cool tools do you have in your toolbox?
Yeah, I've got some cool stuff. I've got a giant printer.
Okay.
And I've got a big old industrial laser. And then I've got a smaller printer that can print Braille, so legal rounded Braille. So for all of our ADA signage, we handle most of that in-house, unless it's super fancy. And then plotters and other various hand tools. But yeah, the printer, the laser, our Muto is pretty fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So as a member of NCNG, you've only been with us for what, maybe
3 months?
3 or 4 months?
I think so.
Thinking so far?
Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah.
So not a huge runway of experience yet, and then you had some travel time, and then I know you were off trying to get your permanent resident alien?
No, citizenship.
Yeah,
I got my citizenship. Yeah, that was super cool surprise.
Yeah.
It was a New Year's resolution, and it was done by, what was that, April? I think it was done. Yeah. kind of surprising how quickly that went.
Yeah.
But I had my green card for 15 years, I think. Don't quote me on the exact number, but I had already had my green card for a long time, and I think it was just an easy application for them to do. So it went super quick and surprisingly very, very DMV-ish.
Yeah.
Very, which you're expecting the green lawn with the white chair and the judge and your family crying like you're expecting the show, right? Dude, none of that.
No.
I think post-COVID.
Pull a number. Sit in a chair.
It was.
Wait till you get your number called.
And then literally the guy, after you swore, did your oath, the guy was like, well, if you want to take a couple of pictures, that's great, but hurry up because I got another group right behind you. Like, what? I wanted my father-in-law here.
Like a fast food order.
Yeah. Well, my father-in-law was in the Navy for 30 years, like huge patriot. Like I wanted him there,
Yeah.
He's right here at Escondido, and it was like, wait, we're doing this today? What? Anyway, crazy experience, but it's done. So I'm a U.S. citizen, which is super cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what got you to San Diego? It sounded like you've lived in quite a few different places.
Yeah. My wife and I at the time were in New York City. My oldest daughter, Chelsea, was born at Mount Sinai Hospital, the Upper East Side. And both of us, Kim grew up a Navy brat. She went to Escondido High.
Okay.
My in-laws have been in Escondido for well over 30 years. And we're like, well, neither of us are really comfortable raising a family in New York City. We love New York City, but not really a great place to raise a family. And a career opportunity opened up here in San Diego. It was with Turner Construction. It was my first ever sales job, and it was 2008.
Oh, wow. Great time.
Oh, man, it was School of Hard Knocks. Let me tell you, it was rough. And so it was a career opportunity at the time. Of course, I didn't know how bad the economy was getting. Nobody knew, but
sure,
it was a great opportunity. I was a hero from my in-laws' perspective because we had just had our first child. Yeah. They were loving it.
Bringing their grandkid home.
It was great. Yeah, so
got it.
Been here ever since and loving it. San Diego's been the town that I've lived in the longest in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I'm not going anywhere. So it's been fantastic.
Yeah, it's almost like every day is a vacation.
I wish, but I run my own business here in California, so
If only.
But maybe weekends.
Yeah.
When I get on my bike or when I'm on skis,
when your phone's turned off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When my kids are kicking butt at a tournament, that's vacation. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So. Obviously, small businesses, big businesses, any business that needs signage, that's a good referral for you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Nonprofits, youth organizations.
My largest client is a nonprofit. There's San Diego Rescue Mission, that big wall wrap we just did. We're on our 4th project for them because they've been buying or partnering with municipalities to establish kind of satellite homeless shelters. So there's one in Oceanside. We did all the signage for that for them. This one was in National City. They want to open another one in East County. They take in homeless people and they really try to help them out and figure out a way to get them into another program or other support services to help them get a house, right? To help them get off the street. Fantastic organization. They don't take a dollar of government money. It's all privately funded. And they really, really help people. Also my biggest client, a nonprofit. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but a little plug for them because they do fantastic work.
Okay, cool. So so NCNG, we're about 30 members deep. I always have found in my 10 plus years of being in a business networking group, where I find my biggest success in the group is by finding like my power partners.
Right.
The people who I feel like are engaged with the consumer enough with the conversations that would revolve around ways for them to insert me into those. I would imagine, commercial real estate is probably a power partner to you. Sandra Sapel at Embroid Me maybe could be a good power partner to you.
Yeah, her franchise is actually owned by the same company as our franchise. So Sandra and I were a great fit. We started referring each other business like day one.
Awesome.
So Sandra and I, she's fantastic, and Milena's been awesome.
Yeah.
Feeding me leads, commercial, like people who sign new leases, obviously need another sign or need to relocate their signs. Great power partner. And then general contractors, right? So they're dealing with clients who are building buildings, they'll need signs as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there any other professions that you feel like out in the world are good referral partners to you that maybe NCNG can start kind of hunting to bring someone into the group? Like, is there any other trade or profession you feel like maybe would be a good fit to the group?
Yeah, interestingly enough, probably the payment processors, because they're signing up all the new businesses in town too, right?
Yep.
That's probably a good one.
Okay. So Tim Lopez, maybe you and Tim need to spend a little bit of time together.
I think so, yeah. I'm going to host one of our happy hours at the shop.
Okay.
Hopefully he comes and everybody can see the shop and,
cool.
and we can do some business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, would love to help you build your brand. Obviously, you put a sign on my door.
Yes,
so,
yes.
I used
before I was
you
a member.
before you were even a member.
That's great. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Kind of use that as a little bit of a rope to end up pulling you in. But
that was a good move.
Certainly know that you do quality work.
Thank you. Yes,
it's been great to get to know you over the last couple of months, and we haven't spent enough time outside of the group hanging out. So I'm glad that we at least had this morning to sit and chit chat a little bit more, get to know about your wife and your kids and your history of what brought your entrepreneurship here to Signarama. And again, wrapping out, we're members of NCNG, North Coast Networking Group. We built this North Coast Coffee Chats to grow the exposure of our members, and our proud host, Rob Esposito and Max Lux Media, put on this phenomenal podcast location for us to shoot our episodes. And we meet every Thursday at 7:15 at Beach Plum Kitchen. We have breakfast, we network, we create referrals. We are an exclusive group, so only one member per position. So you're not in there with 25 real estate agents and 13 mortgage guys, and everybody's fighting over that connection. So that's one cool thing that sets NCNG apart, is the exclusivity. And we're really a great group of almost 30 people right now. And just super happy to keep building relationships with great people and keep growing great business. So that's a wrap on our episode. Where else can people find you? You shouted out your websites a little earlier. Are you on any social media? Can they call and set up appointments? How do our consumers get in touch with you?
Instagram is Signarama San Marcos or Signarama Carlsbad. Give us a call at the shop, 760-727-3217 anytime. And that's about it. Yeah.
All right.
Phone number, social media, websites. Yeah.
There it is. And look for Signarama anywhere in North County, and you can find Brooks Roffey.
That's it.
All right, Brooks, thanks for being on the episode today. Great job today.
Thanks.
Max Lux, as always, cheers hosting. Max Lux. Young Coach Kelly, signing out. Episode 23 is a wrap.